Yes, we have our final guest discussion right here on the couch, Ada Agu Eme. She is the winner of Miss Enyimba International Pageant 2016, Face of Abia 2018, and the most beautiful girl in Nigeria 2022. I would say she's the longest serving most beautiful girl in Nigeria. She has refused to let the crown go. But hey, her advocacy secured her a slot in the top 5 of Miss World 2024 head-to-head challenge, plus a grant from the Miss World organization. Hi! Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too.
I'm gonna snatch the hair off your head when you leave this studio.
With all pleasure.
All right, good to see you. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
So talk to us. As you refused to release the crown, what have you been doing with it?
I've been milking it as much as possible.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
I mean, I believe for all the time that I had to audition and not pass, I have sat through it.
Ah, so you said,
you people
I've made you people.
You're stuck with me.
You're stuck with you. All right. So I know the Miss World beauty pageant was last year, and you participated in it. Talk to us quickly about that experience and how it was for you.
So it was really amazing. The Miss World platform is known for beauty to purpose, which means community service. That's the whole center and value of the Miss World organization. Right. So being among 140 countries and seeing women do really amazing things, it was really great to see, quite frankly. Okay. So it was more of like a learning experience. I think I'm doing great in my country till I see someone that brought electricity to her entire community. So that's amazing.
Right.
Yeah. I always have this, what do I call it now, conception that people who win awards like this, you know, find it very difficult to walk on the streets without being stopped every single time. How is that for you? And is it like, do you get people always stopping you every time to take pictures, to say hello, to say something?
When I'm not Davido.
No, I mean, you're beautiful.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah. That's super kind. But in Nigeria, at least they allow you leave. Of course, I have people come up to me occasionally, but pageantry is not that much of an A factor in Nigeria. It's not something that people follow up a lot. So of course I still have.
Do you think that's a problem?
Yeah, I think it's a problem because the way pageantry has gone now, especially with the Miss World organization, you see, I'm telling you, women are building electricity, bringing electricity to their communities, bringing schools, building schools from scratch. People even, Miss Czech Republic, who won Miss World, went on to build a school in Tanzania. So you see powerful things like that. It's something that any country should get behind.
There was this, I was reading your profile sometime, and then I saw that you had done something about Give a Girl Pad or something like that. What was that about?
Oh, so yes, we did do pad outreaches because I believe that period poverty is still a problem here. And
I was on that campaign.
Yes.
You were?
Yeah, she was in the campaign.
Oh, for real? That's lovely. Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
And of course, we did a health outreach, which was what my project was for Miss World. For schistosomiasis is a disease that affects water bodies. So yeah.
That's interesting, though.
Yeah. Let's talk a bit about, because I mean, I have been involved in conversations around changing the narrative and the perception of the pageantry industry in Nigeria and how it's been seen, you know, in this part. How do we continue to, you know, keep that conversation? I mean, continue the conversation, not just continue, but amplify it in a way that, you know, that narrative changes, especially in the society where we are very patriarchal in our mindsets, right? How do we continue to amplify this conversation in changing the narrative? Because here you are coming up with, you know, beautiful, groundbreaking initiatives that's making huge impact. No matter how small, you know, as you keep going, as you keep advancing, it will keep growing, right, and reaching more people. Also other, you know, beauty queens as well, even as we get along. But what do you think needs to change, you know, in creating that shift that the pageant industry needs to experience in that regard?
So I believe that for countries that pageant has thrived in their country, it first starts with the more interest in maybe the Ministry of Tourism, or say the the Office of First Lady or something, just a government parastatal doing a stamp of approval on pageantry. And in Nigeria, I know that the problem of the saturation of so many different pageants is a problem. So even if there can be a body that says, okay, you know what are the top 3 pageants here that we endorse and we approve, that type of approval will make the rest of the pageants to also like step up and also bring credibility to it. Because I can't be going to Miss World and I'm saying, oh, I'm Miss Nigeria, I'm representing Nigeria, of course, Miss World Nigeria, and you're like, but your government doesn't even know you're here. So it's that stamp of approval would make all the world of difference.
You know, it's just a follow-up question.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm forgetting to. I'm glad you said that. Saturation, oversaturation. The emphasis on the word on a lot of pageantries in Nigeria. And I remember that I've also been in conversations where we talked about some certain level of regulation, and I think that's where the government comes in. What can be done? Let's leave the government out for a minute. But there's an industry already. What do you think has to be done to sort of put a regulation on these pageants is springing forth? Because there are also quite a number of them that sort of exploits young ladies. Let's not even rule that out at all. So how do we I mean, you've been in the pageant industry for a period of time, right? What needs to be done in terms of regulating that industry?
Okay, so in the situation where we are saying, okay, we are taking control, of course people should take control. In this industry, I believe a lot of the pageant owners know each other. So there's something that has been raised up by the pageant community and pageant fans, people who observe pageants. They say that if Africa can bind together and say, these are the owners of the top pageants in Africa, we come together and we form a union. And this union will not only regulate, also make girls see, oh, what are the pageants in this union under Africa? These are the credible pageants. These are the pageants that have been approved by the union, that they do not exploit girls, that they say what they mean and they mean what they say, that they give the prizes that they say that they will give. That is a step in the right direction. It will also help us to stop being marginalized in international pageants, where Africa always goes to clap, even though we are sending out millions and millions of girls who are doing amazing. So I believe if we are not saying the government, of course the owners of these pageants can form a union to protect our girls. Because I believe African women are very much, even though we are doing so many amazing stuff, we are exploited as much.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many people who do not even know that apart from being beautiful and being eloquent, that there are other activities that, pageantry would involves, like the campaign and all. Just like you said, I feel like we need to do more. We need to do more. The media needs to help. The government needs to help, just so people are more aware about the other activities and the communities that you're also trying to impact as well, which is beautiful. Now, moving away from that for a bit, I was going to talk about the event, because I know you also manage an event, Peng events, something like that. How do you do like everything and then still have a balanced life together?
I think the most important thing that I had to have at the back of my head while competing is that there's life after the pageant. Even though it's something that is the core of my existence, there's still the person. I think separating yourself from the brand that you're building is really important. It also keeps me grounded to know that, most beautiful girl in Nigeria. Well, someone was most beautiful girl in Nigeria in 2001.
Yes.
So what do you have to offer? That's why we see people like Bianca Ojukwu, Honorable Bianca Ojukwu, do exploits, because they were able to hack separating Bianca Ojukwu from Bianca the pageant winner. All
right. So and what are you doing now? What makes you stand out? What are you doing differently? I mean, apart from
Yeah, my event planning company, I've been building my business for a very long time. I'm an Igbo woman in that way. So basically building the brand.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
So what's next, I mean, for you, for your foundation? What are you currently working on? What are your plans for the year?
So one major thing that we are trying to do is I watched a video of people who are wrongfully imprisoned, or people who are imprisoned because of convicted, and then people who are just there because they can't pay bail,
or they,
So
or they
that
can't
is
afford
something,
a lawyer.
so that's something we are working on. I and my lawyers are working on.
Great,
But I know that is a very long process. It's not something that you can just. So that's. I feel like I like anything that is super challenging. So maybe that's why I took that up. Yeah.
I mean, that's brilliant. It's brilliant, and that is very. It brings that humanity side of you, because I mean, a lot of if you're to talk about people in our society today who are very, who are neglected, it's, people who have been wrongfully convicted. We see cases of people just, young boys and girls who have just been, caught at the wrong place and the wrong time, right? And they're just, put in jail for whatever reasons, and I'm glad that your foundation is doing this. Wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
Let us know
much.
how we can support.
Thank you.
Always here to support. Let us
I mean,
know
if you need a handsome young man.
when are you handing over?
Oh, wow.
Finally,
Yes.
I'm handing over next week, Friday. That's the 4th of April.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
congratulations.
What's the
And our
process?
event
What's the
company is
process
putting
like?
together the events, right?
Sorry.
yeah, you can answer that. I mean,
What did you ask?
I said your event company is putting together the event for the
Oh, it's for the hall. Yes, that is what you're doing.
okay,
yeah.
great.
But what's the process like?
So the contestants are, I think they are going to come today, and they are going to be judged by a lot of criteria, head-to-head, sports competition, and the most deserving person win.
All right, Ada, it's always a pleasure having you right here on the show. Wishing you all the best, and thank God you are finally handing over that copy as you go quickly.